What's going on, Wolfpack family? It's your boy Kid back at it again. Hope everyone is doing great. We got some more Ricky Gervais Show. This is season 1, episode 10, The Fight. So let's get to it. Let's do it. Hope everyone's doing good. Let's go.
Of course, as ever, lots of questions for Karl as well, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there. Question from Jade. Karl, what would you change if you were in charge of what kids are taught in school?
Ooh.
Right, you know, because I mean, your school experience was a bit iffy. You got very bored, didn't you? You got very disillusioned by school.
Yeah. What I'd do, right, is instead of sort of teaching kids about 2 and 2 and that, which is 4, right?
Well done. Show off.
Nice job,
I
Smarty.
think should be asked more questions that make them think rather than something that has just got an answer.
I totally agree.
Right? So,
So teaching them the quest for knowledge, inflaming their
but
imagination.
just freaking them out a bit as well. Just going like...
See, I knew that's where it was going. Because as soon as you started talking, Rick, I was thinking you're thinking some of the big existential or philosophical questions. You know, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to interact with other humans? To be a human.
Or teaching them sort of like philosophy on a basic level, that, you know, teaching them the love for learning. So, you know, get them back to a roots level so they want to learn and then they will learn, as opposed to just teaching them facts.
Whereas...
He was thinking, freak them out a bit.
Yeah.
No, just like, you know, like I read the other day, and someone sent it in on email, like how there's a dishwasher that's been found on Mars.
Rubbish.
Whoa, what?
But it's not true.
So tell them that.
But it's not true.
Go home and write about it. How did that happen?
But it didn't happen.
Well, it did happen. It was in a science magazine.
No, it didn't happen. There's
was
not a
I didn't see that.
dishwasher on Mars.
Why not?
Because
What do you mean, why not?
how did it get there?
But we're always sending like rubbish out there and that. It's like
Not dishwashers. What do you think the council take it away and they go, where can we put it? Well, the tip's full. Well,
Put it
where's
on
the nearest
Mars.
thing we can dump this? Mars, I imagine.
no, but the same way that fella who I don't know, was it 2 Christmases ago when he was messing about saying I can get stuff to Mars and all that. He did it wrong because he did it on like Boxing Day, and I just think nobody's concentrating. No one wants to work on that day. It's kind of like, do you know what I mean? They're going to do stuff sort of half-assed
Jesus.
on Boxing Day.
Just chucking mad
It
shit.
didn't really get there, I don't think, but it crash landed.
What are you talking about? What was he trying to do?
He was sending something up to Mars.
Yeah, that little fella that wanted to get something on Mars, and it got,
probe, you mean?
And it didn't open properly.
Yeah.
It got there, didn't open.
But the thing is, it got there, it didn't open properly. No one's been back to pick it up. And what I'm saying is, we're saying about going to Mars as our next planet. It's a tip. There's loads of stuff that's been flirted up there.
No, it's not.
What are you
It has,
talking
'cause
about?
it's just all like that probe thing is still there, rotting away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
ipso facto, there is a dishwasher on Mars. We've
Yeah.
settled that. Why would they have a dishwasher on Mars? Would they take the dishwasher up in the space shuttle in case they had dinner parties? What are you
Jesus.
talking about?
I just think they would have a little dishwasher in there. There's a lot of them, tight space. You don't want to, but who's going to do that? You know, that means...
Do you know how much fuel it takes to move a kilogram
Yeah.
out of the Earth's atmosphere? So they're going to take up a dishwasher, are they?
Sorry, but what are they cooking up
One
there,
dishwasher, guys.
How many people does it take to fly a rocket? How many people? Tell me how many people.
Well, it's either one monkey with a banana shoot that feeds it, or probably 2 or 3 humans.
Right, say it's 3 humans.
Yeah.
Definitely
Three
going to need a
humans,
few.
Because they need one to steer it.
One
another
to stop at the petrol station
No,
to
but
get more.
what I'm saying is, if you're going to start having a sink, then whoever's
They
washing
haven't got
up...
a sink.
I know, because they've got a dishwasher.
He's got you.
It's crazy how they started with school, right? They started with school, what they would teach the school, and now it just quickly transforms into freaking dishwashers on freaking Mars and shit. But one thing, like, because my nephew, right now, he is, 7 years old? The shit that they teach him at school, a lot of it is like, you're mostly teaching the kid yourself and stuff. They don't even, half these teachers don't even check, they just quickly just check it, but they don't even go over it. So, like, I don't know, to me, like, a lot of the education, especially when I was growing up, excuse my language, the teachers sucked major balls. They were just not good. I felt like I never really learned a lot, and I had to learn more on my own than I did with the teachers, and they were just that bad and stuff. So I wish that the teachers, and I guess it's going to depend on what schools you go to. Maybe my schools weren't the best, but they just felt like they never taught anything. And the stuff that I see that my nephew does, it's so much more complicated that he's not going to process some of the stuff at his age anyway. You know, they keep it basic, and then now they add so much crap that he's not going to learn. Most of these kids don't know half the shit. The parents are doing their homework. It's really crap.
There.
But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But all I'm saying is teach kids things about... Say to them, right, when you go home tonight...
Teach them about
dinosaurs
Mars.
met ages ago. How would you have lived with them? get on with it. See you later.
Well, they didn't. I
Peace.
told you this before. You got a lot of your information from the Flintstones and 1 million years BC with Raquel Welch. There weren't dinosaurs knocking around where there were little fellas knocking around in furry pants.
No, but just sort of saying to him, all right, then, here's a different question.
Go on then.
Would it be better to have dinosaurs knocking about now whilst we're here? Because I put that in my diary the other day. That when you think about it, there's a population
We're gonna find
problem.
out in Jurassic
There's
World
too many
3.
of us.
Yeah.
We're saving people all the time. No one's allowed to get injured anymore. You've got to, wear a helmet when you're on a bike. There's speed bumps to slow people down. Zebra crossing. Cures for illnesses. No one's dying anymore, right?
Well, I think they are.
Not as many as they should be because the world's crowded. All I'm saying
I
is
think
it's
there's still people dying. I think
They're
there's still
definitely
people
dying.
dying.
They're
Not that
definitely
many,
dying.
Yeah, I think there's still millions of people
handful,
dying.
Apparently, a handful.
Loads of people are living longer, and that's a problem.
So
what
you
I'm saying
feel that
is-
you should introduce Tyrannosaurus Rex into,
Wandering
say,
around, wandering
London, just have him wandering around, just picking people up.
Oh
That's what.
shit, that would be so freaking hilarious. We're gonna find out what's gonna happen in Jurassic World 3 whenever that shit picks up production. What's gonna happen when they're introduced into the world right now? I'm anxious to see what's gonna happen, but imagine having a freaking T-Rex just eating people now. We'd be screwed.
just sort of random and that because I don't know. I mean, I'm not
bazooka that
wishing
shit.
that anyone I know dies and that, but all I'm saying is I don't know anyone who's died for ages.
Right.
Whereas if a dinosaur was knocking about, you'd go, Neil's gone missing.
Yeah,
And Laura's been had her head
Yeah.
bitten off by a.
Whatever. I just think then it is survival of the fittest, which is we've
shit.
lost all that now. You don't even have to be fit to survive. You just keep sticking a new lung
they would
on.
missile that shit.
Or- do you know what I mean? They can do too much now to keep people going.
freaking theory.
sticking a new lung on you.
Question from Kevin. He says, Carl, other
That's a good
than the
question.
famous boxing match that you've often talked about, I know that took up about 20 minutes of your time. Have you ever been in any other kind of fight? I don't suppose a slanging match. I think they're talking. Have you ever been in a physical fight?
Interesting.
Once that I can remember. It was over a woman. Well,
Really?
a girl. I was at school.
Yeah.
And it was because, like, it's hassle, innit? Right? Relationships when you're younger. 'Cause
How
you're
old were you?
About 7.
But I haven't gotten a fight at 7. Shit.
Go on then. Yeah, go on.
And there was this girl knocking about who, she was quite good looking, everybody liked. And my mate, he really liked her.
Imagine him at 7, right?
And, I didn't
This is
sort
Emily.
of ask her out on that, but she just sort of took a shine to me and stuff. Right? And didn't really go out with her properly. It's at that age where going out with someone is just like sort of going, all right, in the morning. Do you know what I mean? You just sort of nod your head
He's like, yeah, baby. That's Karl. That's what he's thinking right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
and that. Anyway, there was some sort of school disco, and they were playing Spin the Bottle. or something, right? And I sort of wandered over to see what was going on. And I stood on this girl's dress and put a hole in it. And she started crying. I was like, oh, I can't be doing with this. Right? What's up with you? It's a hole, what's up with you? And everyone's going, Karl, what are you doing? That's meant to be your girlfriend and that. You should be sort of saying, oh, I'm sorry, and giving her a hug and all that, and saying it'll be all right, we'll sort the dress out. I said, oh, I can't be dealing with this. Right? So she's crying her eyes out. I said, it's over. Right?
Jesus, savage.
Oh, it's over, you
Savage.
saying? Right. In the morning.
It's over.
Yeah.
No more of that.
Yeah, there's no more. Right. In the morning.
So I go to the toilet, right? And this lad who fancies her comes in and goes, you're out of
Oh,
order.
shoot.
I'm saying, what are you on about?
Sorry, there's 2 7-year-olds. Yeah, you're out of order. Keep out.
Cut it out.
What a scenario.
Show her a bit of bloody respect.
Sorry, were you wearing trilbies?
Yeah. He put his cigarette out in the sink and he just said, leave it.
Get out of my
shit.
face.
So I just sort of said, look, why are you getting involved and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Why are you getting involved?
Today's scenarios are the most bizarre ones. I'm loving it.
And it was obviously like, because, he fancied her and that. We had a bit of a fight in there. I accidentally, sort of chipped his tooth on a sink.
Oh,
Is it like a proper...
Sorry, this is like someone from Lock, Stock and 2 Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? 2 7-year-olds in a toilet.
So
gangster.
you put a hole in her dress. I don't know how that. What were you wearing?
I just
Football
stood
boots.
on it.
How did you make a hole in her dress?
I don't know. It was like that sort of material.
You were
like,
wearing winkle pickers.
like crepe. You know what I mean? It was like a crepe
Damn.
dress or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And that
So-
got a hole in it.
So you're having a, and when you say you're having a fight, I mean, are you wrestling with it? You got arm locks
a
and
little bit of
headlocks?
wrestling and shoving about and that, and it was an accident. I didn't sort of go right. I'm going to break your teeth or anything. It's just that I happened to push his head down, and his tooth hit the sink,
Right.
and it chipped. And what have you.
Damn.
After that, like I sort of left there and stuff, and we had to go into assembly, and there was a copper in there doing some presentation.
Oh my
saying,
God.
Listen, kids, don't get into trouble, because we're out there and we'll get you, right? So sort of trying to teach the kids young not to get into any trouble and stuff. So I'm sat in the assembly room, thinking, oh God, there's a copper here talking, and my mate's going to come in a minute, like with a chipped tooth and everything. And
Questions are going to get asked.
that's what kind of happened. I mean, the coppers didn't get involved.
Yeah.
Did you turn your back on violence after that then?
Yeah. He said, "You'll never take me alive, copper."
So yeah, that was the sort of last fight.
Brilliant.
Oh shit. Dude, the scenarios today is freaking so good today. It's so freaking bizarre, but it's funny, it's cool. I can't really picture him being like mad physical and stuff like that, even at that age. It's tough. I didn't really get into fights like that at a young age. Much more older, 13 up, all that stuff. Then you really start getting into fights, but it is what it is.
Some of the questions coming in now, Rick, are just, I don't know what they're intending. What response they're hoping for, really. This is one from Rob. He just says, I was just wondering, what are Karl's views on the human appendix?
What do you think, Karl? What do you think of the human appendix?
Never worried about it.
Well, no, I think Rob's point is that it's sort of pretty redundant now.
So this is kind of what we've talked about before, where
He always says that. He always says something like, "Oh, we've talked about this before," and the thing that he's talked about is nothing like it.
what I mean is we've obviously interfered somewhere along the way, and
Well,
and
we
shouldn't
have
done.
interfered, yeah.
Well, we shouldn't have done, because it's the same way. Like if we didn't have planes and that, would we have wings now? If we'd have
No.
needed to get about,
No.
would we have had wings?
No, the answer's no. Next.
No, but you say
Next.
that.
You
But
shut
look at
him
the
down.
Because
way.
he's right, he says it because he's right.
No, but all I'm saying is you see that little picture of like an ape to man.
Yeah.
At first, they're crawling about on all fours because probably you're looking for food, so you want to be down there. So
Right.
if you're on both legs,
Yeah.
you're missing stuff that's on the floor.
What sort of time period do you think this? Because I mean, we started, dabbling with a plane maybe 100 years ago. So what sort of time period do you think this little thing who's scrabbling around looking for
That's-
food stood up and
I don't
walked?
know. I sort of don't worry about time. Sort
Right.
of
Well, I'll
behind-
tell you now, we
behind
wouldn't have
Rome.
wings now. If the Wright brothers had said, "Oh, forget it," we wouldn't have wings now.
What would happen? Right,
Dad
here's
definitely
another
wouldn't
question.
want
This is
that.
one that I'd chuck out to kids as well. We were talking about education, teaching kids stuff.
Sure.
What would happen, right? We ruin this world, right? Goes
Mm-hmm.
wrong and that, right? They shut it down. They go, we're moving. We go to another planet.
It's as simple as that in
Yeah.
his world. It's as simple as that.
We can't go to Mars because it's full of stuff that used to be in Dixon's.
It's like a tip.
Dishwashers.
It's a nightmare. So we can't go there. We go somewhere else.
Something that I've always wondered about, if we do that, do we start New Year's or do we carry on? What do you know what I mean? Do we say, oh, it's still 2006? Or do we go, it's world new, whatever, new world.
That is definitely the first priority.
It's year one. Right, we've sorted that out. Right, now,
Well, it depends, doesn't it?
once you...
Because a
right.
year might not be the same on this planet.
Year one.
We'd sort that out, right? We'd sort out what year it is and that.
Well, no.
Um,
What I'm saying is, we'd have to start again anyway because the planet might not take 1 year as we know
Oh
it
boy!
to go around the sun.
Don't
it
do
might
this
not
to
take
me.
a day to turn. A day is a day because that's how long it takes. For
Yeah,
the...
but we'd have to carry on, as we know, because we don't want to start doing longer days and that. Otherwise, they'll just kick off and say, this is rubbish, this new world, what are you doing?
No,
This
we
world
wouldn't
sucks.
have a
28-hour
choice.
day.
We wouldn't have a choice. A day is how long it takes
No.
the planet to
But a
to
day's-
turn,
a day's-
and a year is how long it takes that planet to go around the sun.
but a
once.
day is man-made, really. There's places in the world where they're working in the dark, isn't there, in Iceland and that? But they don't go, well, it's dark all the time, so I'll stay in bed.
Well, no, but there's still a day. It's still 24 hours in a day in Iceland.
Yeah, but we only work by that clock because that's what people use at the moment when they go, what time is it? You go, it's 20 past 11.
No. We use that because that's how long it takes the planet we're on to
I've
turn.
never worried about it like that. I've just always
Well,
gone,
no, I'm telling you,
That's
I'm
because
telling
you
you,
weren't
were,
asked to get
boys.
involved when they came up with the idea.
I'm telling you that's what a day is. It's
Yeah.
how long it takes your planet to.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The way that what?
No, I'm just saying
Karl ain't worried about that shit, guys.
that's fine and everything. But if when I was born, people said there's 26 hours in a day, I'd go, fair enough. I'm not going to argue.
Well, yeah, we could have made that how long an hour is. Yeah, we could have made
and
hours
this-
shorter and get 26.
Well, they're
in.
saying they're going to do that.
Well,
Because,
no, they're not.
No, they are, because
No,
there's
they're
so
not.
many people in the world.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about before. They've got to create more jobs. The only way to have more jobs, keep shops open, take on more people. Everyone's happy.
That makes no sense at all.
Right. Say if there's 28 hours in a day.
Yeah, it'd still be 24 hours long as we used to know it.
No, you'd have like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's like 20 past.
Look at that clock. That looks
25
horrible.
or whatever.
Well, you're not making any sense at all.
No, I'm just saying.
The Earth would still take 24 hours as we know it now.
Forget it.
Hang on a minute.
He said,
There's more
forget
interesting
this shit.
territory here.
Don't forget, our sleep patterns have evolved on a day.
Oh, shit.
The reason we sort of like go to sleep at
I
night
love they
and
shut
have
them
about
down.
8 to 10 hours sleep is because that's our evolution.
No, but that's only that's just because that's what we've got used to, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at a sloth, that's asleep all the time. It's doing what
Yeah,
it
but
wants.
it evolved differently, didn't it?
Right, you can't get away.
He's got a
You're
clock.
not getting away with this anymore. If you want to live now, join in with us.
I love how they shit on him
Well,
sometimes,
it's that
man. It's
time
funny.
again. It's the feature that the
Let's
world
go!
is saying could rival Monkey News one day. Ready?
Oh, it's rivaling, baby.
today?
It's one of my favorite parts in this.
Well, Carl's diary. You didn't actually
Yeah.
explain what it was. Sunday, got up. Sunny day, so went for a walk in the park. There was a bloke
Okay.
walking down the street who was whistling some kind of annoying tune. He seemed quite happy with himself. Do people only whistle when they're happy? I don't whistle very much.
It's a good point. Whistling is so inane to me. But yeah, it's sort of like going, I'm content. It really is that thing that if they go, you go, well, Mr. Mellors, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Not only has your wife died, but you've lost the house. Thanks, doctor.
Imagine that shit.
Wouldn't happen. would it?
No,
That ain't
you
happening,
don't
is
whistle
it?
when
Yeah.
you're sad. The other place you hear it, of course, is changing rooms. And that's men going, I'm whistling, so I'm not looking at your cock. How could I be? I'm concentrating on whistling.
Oh,
The lake
shit.
was frozen over where I was walking. The ducks looked worried.
The ducks looking worried.
They were sat on the edge of the lake waiting for it to melt. Where are they,
Freaking
Carl?
Poor
Yeah, we
ducks.
just sat there looking, sort of going, oh, what's going on? I don't know. How long is a duck's memory? Because I
Is the animal whisperer now?
wondered whether they're going, this doesn't seem right, but I don't know why.
I asked
Dr.
Suzanne
Dolittle?
why ducks don't use their wings much. They seem to walk and swim more and don't bother using their wings. Suzanne said she had to call her mum and dad, so I never got an answer.
The old excuse.
Suzanne broke up.
Suzanne, I can't talk now, Carl.
Gotta phone my
Shut
mum.
down.
There was a marathon type run going on in the park. It reminded me of the time when we were moving flat. It was the day of the London Marathon. Me and Suzanne were walking down the middle of the road taking some stuff to our new flat. I was carrying a lamp and a kitchen bin. People were clapping me, thinking I was doing some kind of fun run.
How you got on the freaking run?
Why were you walking
only
on the
Carl.
same route?
Because it was when we lived on the Docklands.
Only
There
Carl.
was no other route. The flat was just about 100 yards down the road.
They're going, look at the bloke with the bald wig. He's carrying a lamp and a bin.
Took a bag of old clothes to Oxfam. It was just old T-shirts and a couple of jumpers with holes in it. I don't think anyone will buy them, but the Oxfam is closer to the flat than the wheelie bin is.
Jeez, that's lazy. I'm sorry, that's
On the
freaking
tube on the
lazy.
way back home, saw an advert for a book about a woman who works in a funeral home. She went into work one day, she goes to work on a body, she takes the sheet off of one of the bodies, and it looks exactly like her. This is called a doppelganger.
The
What's a
thing-
doppelganger to you?
It's the thing I read about him ages ago where someone was
That freaked me out.
walking down the street.
Yeah. And he sees someone who looked a bit like him.
And no, this was weirder than that.
Go on.
He remembers like going down that street as a kid on his bike whistling, and then he's walking down the street going to get some milk or whatever from the shop. Little bike comes whizzing past. He hears the whistling. He goes, "That's weird." Looks at it. It was him when he was a kid. So it's like a time.
Talk shit. What do you mean it was him as a kid?
This is
Ah,
like a
come on.
different form of doppelganger. It's just
Well, it's impossible. It's rubbish.
like a different form of doppelganger. It's just
Well, it's impossible. It's rubbish.
some sort of time thing, isn't it?
No,
Just
it's not.
time,
But that's
sort of-
impossible. So don't
It's
worry
just some
about
kind
it.
of time thing, Rick. No.
Yeah,
just
it's
some
something
kind
you
of time
read
thing.
again on the internet, or it was a short story, or something someone told you.
On my walk back from the tube, I saw a jogger who was pushing a pram at the same time. The kid looked terrified. Got my science book out. It said that the static you get on the telly when a channel isn't tuned in properly is radiation that is still knocking about from when the Big Bang happened. I thought about the Big Bang and wondered if it was really a Big Bang or did it just sound louder as there was no other noise to drown it out.
Point, though, isn't it?
Carl's diary, Rick, never
Carl's
ceases to
diary.
amaze.
Sorry, Carl's Diary is the equivalent of a most valuable player of the show. It's one of the best parts right now that they have had it on the show. Hands down. Hands freaking down.
Oh, well, it's that time now. Yeah? It's the big one.
They're getting more traditions on the show, for sure.
Monkey news!
Right, there was this
Monkey?
this fella, right, who he had a problem with his eyes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So he goes to the doctors and he goes, I've got a problem with my eyes. And he goes, yeah, they bad them, right? He goes, he was in America, you know, like how you have to pay for medical stuff and all that. And the doctor said, oh, if I fix them, it's going to be like 10 grand.
God damn.
He's like, but I haven't got the money, doctor. He goes, well, I can't help you then. You know, there's a lot of people with bad eyes like them. Can't do anything for you. So he's
Typical
like,
doctor.
It's getting worse. Can't
Hey,
do
how
anything."
they shut the damn light
So
on
anyway,
him?
so he goes home.
Is that the price of human eyes, is it?
So he goes home, he's looking in the paper, right? And he sort of sees in the adverts at the back. And there's a little advert there saying cheap doctors.
How we are when we're drunk.
No, bollocks.
Oh, no.
No.
So he's thinking, oh, maybe that's what I need, right? So he calls them up. Woman's there. She's like, wait, what can I do? He goes, I've got bad eyes and that. She says, oh, come in tomorrow, we'll sort them out. She's like, brilliant, I'll see you then. Right? So he goes down there.
You can't even see it.
And he says, right, you know, I can hardly see. My eyes have got in really bad state and what have you.
Right.
Need to have them sorted out. I don't know what you do.
Damn,
whatever
I'm
you
drunk.
do, I need
Now,
doing.
his eyes are so bad. Can he see the doctors? He can...
Not really. So
How
he's
it is when we're
squinting and
drunk.
that, but you know, so he's like, do I need to see the doctor to, you know, have a word and tell him what problems? She's like, no, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about
Just,
it.
No, I'd be comfortable if it's a...
just you know, just let me inject you, and we'll knock you out, and we'll get on with it. And it's like, well,
Jeez.
Can I just tell you something about chimps as well, just before you continue?
Go on.
You know, they don't have opposable thumbs.
Now,
which is
why
what-
are opposable thumbs useful? Rick?
Well, to grip something, to do anything like, you know, even simple stuff like writing, so let alone surgery. So without an
But
opposable
can I just check
thumb-
now?
Go
So
on.
if I was a doctor and I was doing any form of difficult surgery, would I need opposable thumbs?
You'd need opposable thumbs
To be a
And-
doctor
and
of
without
anything.
you couldn't do anything. You
Thank-
could.
thanks for clearing that up.
Because the opposable thumb allowed something in our evolution called the precision grip.
Right.
So without that, you couldn't do anything.
I'm just glad they've got that cleared up. Thanks.
Oh,
so
boy.
anyway, so he's had the injection. He's nodding off and what have you. Right? His eyes are sort of closing and that. He hears the door open. He sort of just sees this little fella coming in. And he's like, "Hello, doctor." And he's trying to like make a chat with it.
Sure.
But like, he's just
It?
nodding off. No, just,
Oh,
he
he's never
or she,
called a
was
doctor.
it he or she?
These people have done 7 years medical
Deeply
training.
respected people.
How could you call it it?
So anyway, he thought,
Cheap doctors, guys.
oh, it's weird he didn't answer, but you know, doctors can be quite moody. You know, they're highly intelligent. They don't need
Especially little airy ones.
well, just idle chit chat. There's no room for that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm here
Yeah,
to do a job.
yeah, but you know, if I'm going in to have my eyes done, I want a little bit of idle chimp chat.
So anyway, time passes, right? He sort of wakes up and he opens his eyes, right? And it's brilliant. He can't believe it.
Eyes are perfect.
He's had the op. He can't believe the sight. He's like, nurse, right? And the nurse comes in because I can't believe it. This is brilliant. I've never had this such good sight. Do you know what I mean? Even when I was a baby,
Yeah.
and my eyes were new,
Yeah.
I didn't see this good.
Great.
So she's like, well, you know, that's
You realise the nurse is a panda.
that's what we do, right? So he said, right, so can I just see the doctor and just say thanks and that? She's like, well, to be honest, you know, he's specialised in what he does. There's a lot of
What a
work.
load of bollocks.
They don't
this
want
is
you to
getting.
see that
Please,
shit.
where did you get this from?
No, come on. Let's hear the end of the news.
There's a lot of like operations he's got to do.
Yeah.
So you know, leave him to it. He's just having a kip. You know, I'll let him know that you were grateful. You know, pays the check. Off you go. Go and enjoy looking at stuff.
Yeah.
So he said, no, just what's wrong with that? I just want to see that. So she's
No,
like,
that's
no,
fine.
leave it. Just leave.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it. If
And
he
he's
says
like,
it's
yeah, but
Jeez.
I can't. You know, I want to thank him. So he's done such a good thing for me. So they're getting into a bit of an argument and what have you. And the voices are raising. Right. Door
We're
opens.
going to wake the doctor up.
Well, that's what they did. They woke
You
him
gonna
up.
wake him
right?
up?
They will
So-
get up.
it.
So the door opens, right? Little monkey comes out,
Oh.
and he's like, "What's going on here? It's a hospital. Why is there a monkey knocking about?"
Yeah.
So the woman said, "Well, what do you mean? He's the doctor, right?" So he's
Fine
like,
doctor,
"You're
too.
having a laugh, aren't you?" She goes, "Look, don't complain. Your eyes are sorted.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
the doctor's done it. What's the problem?" He said, "Well, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have come here." She said, "Well, what do you mean you didn't know that?" She said, "The advert in the paper you read, it's like chimp doctors."
That is the biggest load of shit I've
shit.
ever heard. That really is the worst.
What? And because his eyes were so bad, he thought it said cheap doctors.
He saw the advert
Shit.
and it said chimp doctors, but because his eyes were bad, he just
Shit,
saw
What
it.
journal is this in?
It was years ago because it sort of says how the monkey sort of carried on working for a few years. He couldn't do anything
Then
about
just
it. He had
Damn it. Shit messing up my flow, man. What's up with these?
It's absolute bollocks. There's no way. There's
Lot of
worth,
shite.
I mean, it's not even worth talking about. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's the most ridiculous monkey news you've ever heard, and that's saying something.
Chimp doctors.
That has to be the best monkey news we saw so
Easy
far.
mistake.
Oh boy!
For Karl.
Oh shit, I pressed the wrong shit. Guys, that has to be some of the best monkey news that we have seen on this channel so far. I like the dinosaur thing. His diary entries are getting better and better. What's your favorite part on this one? I think the T-Rex is eating people, bringing them back. That shit sounds hilarious. Where the hell does he come up with these theories? Is he just popping out of his head, or is he actually reading some things and he's getting these stories mixed up? What's going on that's making these things more funnier by the episode? This is one of their better episodes right now. It's definitely up there. I think we're slowly creeping up to I think we got 2 or 3 more episodes before season 1 is done, so we're starting to wrap up on seasons and hopefully be introduced to new ones. We still hopefully will try to get new shows. Again, with some of these shows that we've been trying, they're very hit or miss as far as allowing us to do them, guys. So, you know, I know we've been requested a lot of shows, guys. We'll do our best to get to some of them, but sometimes they just don't want me to do it. So, you know, hopefully down the road, maybe that will change. But I do want to say some real talk for a second, that I hope that you and your families are all safe throughout everything that is going on, guys. Do your best. You know, stay home with all the things that's going on if it's possible for you guys. But I do hope that you guys are all well. Let me know how you guys holding up throughout the situation. Just a moment of real talk for a second, guys. But I do hope that you enjoyed the show. I loved it. This is probably one of their best episodes yet. I hope it keeps getting better and better, as it just seems to be doing that every time. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Peace and love. Love you guys. See you soon. Peace.